What is up, mini wargamers? Here we have a match between the forces of Skaven and the forces of the High Elves. This is a 250 point, essentially, practice through the pass. There are no generals, no heroes. It is essentially just going to be unit on unit, turn by turn, seeing how each unit actually performs and where their weaknesses are. The purpose of each side is I am trying to make each one about a 50-50 in effectiveness to win, just to show what is actually matched up. So I'm not trying to do a complete blowout. The entire goal of this is to actually see what winds up being a pretty decent matchup for the points, regardless of external factors like buffs or anything like that. You know, just raw, here it is, the meat and potatoes of each individual unit, how they would perform, and what they would likely perform next to. So buffs may come into play eventually, but as of right now, neither of these units really buff each other, other than the lookout sir that the weapons team would get for being within 3 inches of a friendly unit. That's about it. We do have a musician and a harbinger in this unit, but other than that, there are no champions, there are no standard bearers, there are no musicians, other than champion and musician in here. And this is going to be 250 points of Skaven versus 250 points of High Elves. For the Skaven, we do have 10 Poison Wind Globadiers, as well as a unit of 100 points of clan rats. They have sword and board, and there are 20 of them, as well as a 60-point Poison Wind Globadier, or Poison Wind Mortar, sorry. I would maybe sometimes deploy the mortar with the globadiers, but for the purposes of this game, deploying with the clan rats probably is a little bit better of an idea, just because of bodies and lack of range superiority. Over here we have 5 Illyrian Reavers with a Harbinger champion and a musician, as well as over here we have 10 Lothern Seaguard with shield, medium armor, bow, and spear. And over here, the Reavers also have spear and bow. So everything basically is as you see it. And let's go to turn 1. We're about to roll off for it. Turn 1, we're going to see who goes first. White is going to be the High Elves, purple is going to be the Skaven, and the High Elves wind up going first. So, little rundown of the way that I set this up. There is a 24-inch no man's land in between right now. Basically, the center of the entire board is here. The center is 23 inches wide, and it is 48 inches long. So this is about a, roughly half of or a third of a board, because this is about 2 feet wide. Instead of being a 4x6, it is a 4x2. But this is a battle for the pass, with this being the actual center point, 12 inches behind each unit, and 12 inches over here. The back side of this is marking where that 12 inches is with a 24-inch no man's land. Alright, going off to turn 1. Alright, so these guys move 5 inches. And these guys can fire on the march, so let's move them up. Just the 9 inches so they just so that they can't get charged. But they can still fire, but they get the move and fire negative, and then they still get the move and fire negative. Alright, moving on from that, I'm going to move this dice over here, boop, and this dice over here, boop. Basically, that's just going to be a turn counter for each. For shooting, this is 18 inches, just doing math. They are within range, but it's long range. Going to be 10 dice shot. But they actually do have the ability to volley too. I'm gonna go ahead and do just regular shots because they moved and it's gonna be long range, just so that hopefully more shots actually hit. Even though there could still be sixes. So they would be hitting on threes, except they moved, so it would be fours, and then long range would be fives. Let's do fives and sixes. So for the hits, we have 1, 2. Yep, it was just the sixes anyway. So then to wound, it would be, hey, so hopefully 2 wounds. Armor piercing -1 with the 5 and 6. Well, armor piercing because they're elven bows against their light armor. So that would just need 6s, and both are 1s. So they got eyeball shots on the Skaven. That is not enough to cause panic, so we go over here. We're going to say that these boys go ahead and do their shots. It's going to be the same, roughly. The Harbinger gets an additional shot, so this is going to be -1 for move, -1 for long range, so it's going to go from a -3 to, or 3 up to a 5 up. So 2 6s, and then this is going to be a 4 up. Neither. Ooh. Okay. All right, going on to the next turn for Skaven. Now we have Skaven turn 1. We are going to have them move up 5 inches. And these guys do have quick to fire. Hey, girl. Hi. Hello. Oh, sorry, baby. Oh. Playing games. Here, one moment. Okay, so now we have a range of between 6 inches and 36 inches, which this wacky stick is 18 inches. So we're definitely within range. The way that the poisoned wind mortar works is that essentially I pick a point, basically do a stone thrower roll, and if I roll a misfire, roll in the misfire chart. But also if I can't see my target, it's essentially 2 of these worth of distance, and you can't get a direct hit. So what I've found is that probably the best bet is to do a direct hit, just with hopes that it'll actually be a direct hit. But then also something that I like to do is I like to set up a box basically right flush with them. So I'm using the trajectory from them to them, but I'm also using this box to kind of capture it. Also, this is going to be from the shot. So it's not the box, it's not my facing, it's none of that. It's from there to there, this. And it goes backwards 8, which is is just shy of hitting my guys, which is hilarious, because if it would have gone 10, it definitely would have. Oh man, that's funny. Well, hey, at least it didn't misfire, right? Alright, well, that was turn 1 for the Skaven. Alright, so since it is High Elves turn 2, and they do have ranged superiority, I do think that they're going to stay put and shoot. These guys might even go backwards and shoot. Because as long as they stay out of range of these guys, they can definitely pose a threat. And as long as these guys are out of their range, then they won't be able to actually hurt them. Which right now, they're not in their range, but if I charge them, they do have a stand and shoot. And that would be pretty detrimental to these guys. So they do have a normal move of 9, so I'm going to move them backwards. And you can't march backwards, so I'm going to move them 4.5 right there. These guys, I'm going to keep where they are, but they are within 12, so they're going to just go ahead and shoot without moving. Moving on, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Harbinger, actually, he gets 2 shots here, so there's actually 6. So 6 shots going at the skirmishers. They moved. They are within half, but they are skirmishers. So now it is 5s and 6s. We got 2 6s, and then 2 6s. So with armor piercing, that is 2 dead boys. But that is not enough to cause panic. So that is them. Over here, we're going to have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty, so we're going to have 10 shots going at them. Yep, hitting on 3s. 1, 2, okay. So 4 miss, and then and then 4s. Ooh, only 3. So only 3 actually do their thing, and they need 6s. Woo, 2. So 1 dead Skaven. Definitely not enough to cause panic. And that is the end of the High Elves, turn 2. Going off on to Skaven, turn 2. That is 10 inches, basically. So that would be a 10-inch charge. I would have 11 possible with my charge just because of the dice. So I'm going to go ahead and try to charge. Why not? Let's do it. 5 plus the highest, and we do not. Okay, so I shamble forward 3 inches. Boom. And then these guys are going to move 5. And then they're going to go ahead and shoot. But they only get the -1. Meaning they only get the -1 for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the long range. So it would be hitting on 4s. Now it's hitting on 5s and 6s. 1s are bad. Okay. So 2 1s, 2 5s. And then basically they need to take a toughness test, which is 3. So 1 2 3 they live, 4 5 6 they fail. So 1 dies. And then with this, basically 6s will hurt me, and I'm good. Alright, so that was actually not too shabby for the boys there. Sorry, I was just trying to do that quickly. Alright, and then for this guy, we're going to try and do a direct hit again. Template. So, woo! See, and that's why you do a direct hit. So, with a direct hit, it is going to touch everybody. So, all 10 of those guys are about to take essentially a strength test. So this could be the game. Alright, and with this strength test, again, they are toughness test. With them, they are 3 because they are elves. So 1 2 3 they live, 4 5 6 they die. Oh. So it was, what was it? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 lived out of a 50-50 and 3 died. Ah! Come on, Skaven. But, is that... Okay, so that is enough to cause panic because it's more than a quarter of the forces. So they are leadership of 7. Which they... Oh boy. Wow, no general around or anything like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and run. So they're going to run... 11. Man, not looking good for the elves right now. Oh boy. Okay, so now we're going off onto High Elves turn 3. Are they going to come back? Alright, now we are on to High Elves turn 3. We're going to see if these guys rally. Oh my god, they don't rally. And they flee off the board. Honestly, I've run this scenario probably 20 times already, so I knew it was a good scenario. That's never happened. That has never happened. I rolled an 11, and then I rolled a 9. Alright, hold up. So, correction, but still not. The Lothern are leadership 8. Normal spearmen are leadership 7. But still with it being leadership 8, that... Wow. Okay. Alright. So with that being leadership 8, they ran off the board. And with these guys, they're definitely going to make it in with that like whole 9 business. But since I am Skaven, I'm going to... Alright, so that's... Let's just say that's 6. Because if it was 6.5, then they wouldn't have been able to shoot. Alright. So we got the 6. With the 9, that means that's 12. So they're going to do their stand and shoot maneuver, but they're going to run. They're going to run a total of 7. Think. All right. And then these guys are going to run. Actually, I think they have Swift Stride also. But if they have... Oh. So they do not catch. Oh, man. That's so funny. Actually, they would only go to 3. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then they're also gonna get bombed on by 8 guys. 1s are bad. 1-1. So they would be hitting on 5s. So 1, 2, 3. Oh. And then these, it's toughness test, so 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Bing, bing. Dunzo. And then, oh man, they would have to do their leadership. Okay, and then oh my god. Okay, so this is probably the end of it, but let's just do turn 4 for the Skaven. Ooh, misfire. And wildly off target, which it goes 16 inches that away, which doesn't hit anything. It's like, boom. Yeah, 16 inches that away is like right there. All right, and basically a little out of order, but the movement, they'd be there. Whoop. They'd be there. And I'm probably safe to say 2 Reavers are not gonna take on all of these forces, which is kind of hilarious because honestly, I've been running it a few times, and the Elves have been winning significantly. So to see that much of a wipe, I mean, there's only 5 dead Skaven. Whoo! Okay. All right. And then, I mean, let's just see if they turn around. And they don't even turn around. With that 9, they don't even turn around. Actually, they would get to reroll their leadership. And they get a 10. So how far do they run? How far do they run? And then 8 off the board. Wow. Oh, no. Right there. But I'm going to go ahead and call that, yeah, probably donezo. Especially since it's, basically, well, I mean, I guess it's technically not within the 20%, but it's under... That's not quite 25%. That's 40%. Oh my gosh. But tune in next time, and we will have essentially the same match, except we will see how the Reavers and the Lothern hold up when they actually stay. I mean, all in all, as far as casualties, I mean, Skaven only lost 5, and then the Elves lost 6, but that was the deciding factor because they ran away. Otherwise, those 2 rounds of shooting, I mean, these guys would have been hopefully obliterated, and then those guys would have been dwindled enough so that they'd just be able to get wrecked by these guys. So, thanks for watching. We'll see what happens next time. Peace.